what is it like being an Uber driver in Costa Rica? I was just in Costa Rica. I have a video listed below in the description if you want to watch my vlog of it. One of the best places I've ever been to, and as everyone knows, I always like to ask the drivers in any area I go to, what is it like driving here? And it was interesting hearing how it was in Costa Rica because overall, it was horrible. If you're ever planning on being an Uber driver in Costa Rica, I highly suggest not to. Every driver I talked to, whether they were a taxi driver, like a hotel chauffeur, whatever, said how much they hated it. And almost every driver that went to Uber ended up quitting and going to a different area, whether it's taxis, limousines, whatever the case is. The big thing people usually want to know is how much money do you make? The quote I got was you could make up to about $8 an hour. $8 an hour seemed like to be like the best you could potentially do. I was in an area of Costa Rica called Manuel Antonio, and I had to go 10 minutes up the road, and I was like, hey, why not order an Uber? I looked, and to get an Uber to go 10 minutes up the road was 950 colones, which is their main currency. In case you don't know, at least at the time of this video, that is roughly $1.40. Imagine, I don't even know what they get out of that too, because obviously Uber takes a cut and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they might end up with what? $1 after that? If that? I was talking to another bartender and I said, hey, I saw that Uber is just not that good here. You know, I used to be a Lyft and Uber driver in Boston and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh yeah, she goes, you know, a lot of people just hate Uber. She even told me that one time she ordered an Uber and the cost of the Uber in terms of American dollars was 80 cents. She paid 80 cents for her Uber and she was like, wow, this is ridiculous. And I will say, which is interesting, the taxi prices are about the same as America. Like if you go 10 minutes down the road, I noticed that a lot of the prices for the taxis were about what I'd spend here, right? So like that wasn't any different. But I'm curious, and I don't know why, maybe there's something behind it. The amount that drivers make in Costa Rica is so obnoxiously low. It's almost a bit like, I don't even know what the word is. It almost seems illegal. Like I said, if she spent 80 cents on that ride, what did the driver make? Like 2 quarters maybe to do an Uber ride? This just brings up, as you can imagine, a whole can of worms, and it, you know, opens up Pandora's box. I've talked about how drivers are making less and less. As everyone knows, Uber and Lyft is really, really tricky right now in terms of all the financial situations going on with drivers and passengers and everything. But when it comes to this, I'm like, why do drivers make aggressively, I'm talking aggressively, less money in Costa Rica than pretty much anywhere else I've ever been to? Honestly, I have no idea. But long story short, if you are ever planning on being in Costa Rica and ordering an Uber or driving for Uber, I suggest not to. When I saw that I had to pay the driver $1.40 to go down the road, I was like, you know what? This is unfair to them. I can't do it. Like in good conscience, I just have to get a taxi, or I have to just go with someone who's going to get a lot more money or get paid what they should be getting paid. Or if I do order that Uber, I'm going to have to tip them like $10 or something like that to make it worth their while, because it seemed like, honestly, at the end of the day, Uber's just taking advantage of people. And this is true everywhere. Hate to say it, as everyone knows, but especially in Costa Rica, it was very worrisome as to why Uber was paying their drivers so little.